Okay, hello guys. Today I'm gonna present about identifier, variable, constant, and reserved word. What is identifier? Identifier is a series of characters consisting of letters, digit, and underscore. Used for variable name and function name should be unique and meaningful. Case sensitive. Uppercase and lowercase letter is considered different. Example, num, identifier, and variable. The identifier is only used to identify an entity uniquely in a program at the time of execution, whereas a variable is a name given to a memory location that is used to hold a value. Variable is only a kind of identifier. Other kinds of identifier are function name, class name, and structure name. Okay, rules to write valid identifiers. First, character must be a letter or an underscore or $sign. For example, must not begin with a digit. We must not use any other symbols other than letters, digit, $sign, and also underscore. Must not use reserved word such as if, while, integer, do, float. The example of valid identifiers: length, number, num1, x, y, total $sign, area, sum, BMI, mark2, total underscore pay. Okay, now, how do we know the variable is a valid identifiers? The valid identifiers, as we can see here, width, circle underscore area, money, $sign, and many more. Okay, for the invalid identifiers, student age, it must consist of underscore. It cannot be a space, have a space. Sale price, the character is invalid. Sphere dot volume, the character is invalid. Total plus hour. Total plus hour, plus is the character is which is invalid character. 00 bond, the identifiers cannot start with the numbers. First numbers, the identifiers cannot start with numbers. Okay, for ringgit, and then RM in the bracket, the character cannot be used, so that's why it is invalid identifiers. Okay, for the overall reason for invalid identifiers which is a variable cannot start with a number or numeric. For example, 1. No special character can be used other than underscore and $sign. A variable cannot use reserved word. Okay, next, what is variables? Variable is a location in the computer's memory to store a value. A variable must be declared with a name and a data type before it can be used. For example, here we have variable age and mark. The value we put on the variables, which is age, we put 7. Here, mark is the variable name, and we put variable value, which is 85.0 on this variable. The value of a variable can be changed during execution. Okay, variable declaration. The general form of variable declaration is data type, variable name. Data type actually refer to the type of data that will be stored in the variable. For example, integer. Okay, we use this int used to declare variables that will store integer number only. As for example, okay, variable name can be any valid identifier as long as it is valid identifier, so we can use it for the variable name. Example of variable declaration. Okay, just now we have learned about variable name. We use age, so age can be identifier. Okay, example, of variable declaration: integer radius, float, circle, underscore area, char, grade. So all of these variable declaration must consist semicolon. Constant. A constant is an identifier. Actually, that is similar to a variable except that it holds fixed value while the program is active. The compiler will issue a runtime error if you try to change the value of a constant during execution. Okay, constant name is a pi. So the constant value is 3.142. Okay, constant. What is constant? Constant is a final variable. It is an identifier with a value that cannot be changed during normal execution. A constant must be declared with a name and data type. Use all uppercase name for program readability. Okay, later we see the example. Okay, constant declaration. How to declare a constant? This is the general form of a constant declaration. Public static final data type constant underscore name equal to number, which is value, semicolon. Data type refers to the type of data that will be stored in the constant, like integer, double, boolean, and char. So we use final keyword to declare that the value will never change. So we cannot assign any value to the variable, which is constant name. We see the example. As we can see here, this is the example of constant declaration. Okay, final double pass underscore CGPA equal to 2.0, final double pi equal to 3.142 semicolon. All the variable name we use are uppercase. As it for the program readability, the data type we use is double, integer, double, integer, double. It must consist the value of decimal. Integer, it must consist of integer number. So the final keyword is a reserved word. We cannot assign the value of variable name, for example pi equal to 3.14, so the program will have an error. Okay, as a reminder, about constant declaration, a constant is a variable whose value cannot change once it has been assigned. So for example, pi, we assign again the value of pi 3.14 at the bottom. So there's an error occur on the program. Okay, move to Java reserved word. Java reserved word are keywords that are reserved by Java function. It cannot be used as identifier. For example, we cannot use it for variable name, method name, and class name. It identifies language entities such as data type, input or output, and others. Java reserved words have a special meanings to the compiler. For example, class, public, static void, main, return, integer, double, boolean, true, false, final, if, else, while, for. So this is the example of Java reserved word. So as we can see, final is actually a reserved word. Just now we have seen this on the constant declaration, right? So there is static, true, void, boolean, default, false, and many more. Okay, escape character. An escape sequence begin with a backslash followed by a character. used in system.out.print statement to format output. Examples of escape sequence: \n, which means a new line; \t, a tab; backslash double quote, which means a float quote; backslash single quote, which is a single quote. Okay, operators generate some computation when applied to operands in expression. The operand is A and B. The operator is plus.
Okay, today I would like to present about primitive data types and its difference and its usage. First, character. Character used to represent one single character. It can be anything, including uppercase letter, lowercase, or any number. Next is Boolean. Boolean is used to represent a true or false statement. And we have integer. Integer can represent any number from 1 to any number, either positive or negative. Okay, next double. Double can represent any number just like integer, positive or negative, up to 15 significant figure. For example, 1.0001 or anything like 69.420. Okay. The difference between these four primitive data type is character could represent one single character, while integer can represent numbers, negative or positive, and double could represent any number with decimal places up to 15 significant figure. That's all. Thank you.
Oke, saya rasa kamu sudah tahu apa itu data type berdasarkan video sebelum ini. Jadi sekarang saya akan terangkan tentang data type. Ya, keempat-empat data type tersebut. Di mana data type yang pertama ialah double. It was used to declare variables that will store larger decimal number. Jadi contoh, bila mana kamu mahu masukkan nilai-nilai yang ada perpuluhan, kita akan menggunakan double yang sudah disetkan di Java. Lepas tu seterusnya kita akan menggunakan Boolean bila mana it was used to represent true or false condition. Jadi kalau kita mau keluarkan output kita tu true atau false, kita akan menggunakan Boolean. Dan yang ketiga pula, kita akan menggunakan int bila it was used to declare variables that will store integer numbers. Bila kita mau masukkan nombor-nombor macam 2, 3, 100 begitu, kita akan menggunakan int. Dan di mana ini sebenarnya kepanjangannya ialah integer. Tapi disetkan di Java, kita hanya menggunakan 3 perkataan awalnya iaitu int. Dan yang terakhir ialah char. Di mana char ni kepanjangannya ialah character, tapi disetkan di Java char. Dan char ni was used to declare variables that will store numeric data. Di mana contohnya dia macam memasukkan karakter yang khas begitu dengan meletakkan tanda pembuka dan penutup kata. Jadi tanpa berlengah lagi, saya akan tunjukkan contoh-contoh untuk bila mana masa yang sesuai untuk kita meletakkan double, boolean, int dan char. Yang first, bila kita menggunakan char, kita akan masukkanlah dulu yang macam first tu kan, public class, lepas tu masukkan public static void main string args, lepas tu kita terus masukkan char tu, lepas tu kita bagi nama di situ. Kita bagi nama, kalau yang contoh di sini dia masukkan character. Jadi lepas tu kita terus kasih masuk int, lepas tu kasih masuklah satu character, dan di situ kita kasih masukkan dia seperti yang telah ditunjukkan ini, dan di output nanti dia akan keluar seperti ini. Dia akan mengeluarkan karakter-karakter yang memang sudah ditetapkan di dalam Java. Dan seterusnya how to use boolean. Jadi kita akan menggunakan boolean ni dengan cara kita first masukkan in. Contoh di sini in a sama dengan kosong. Jadi bila a sama dengan kosong, lepas tu kita masukkan boolean b sama dengan kurungan kosong sama dengan kosong. Jadi dan di situ kita akan sistem out print b. Jadi mestilah di situ bila kita tahu a sama dengan kosong, lepas tu kita tulis lagi b sama dengan a sama dengan kosong. Jadi itu menunjukkan pernyataan yang betul. Dan lepas tu disetkan di sini, lepas tu yang print juga di Java tu ialah true. Jadi kita boleh nampak di situ cara menggunakan boolean. Ini dia akan mengeluarkan true dan false. Jadi kalau ada persoalan yang mengeluarkan untuk displaykan true sama false, kita memang akan menggunakan boolean. Dan seterusnya, macam mana cara untuk how to use in. Yang how to use in ni bila kita mau masukkan nombor-nombor yang sudah disetkan. Jadi bila kita mau masukkan set nombor-nombor macam 1, 2, 3 begitu, kita akan menggunakan in. Okey, faham kan? Lepas tu how to use double R. Seperti yang saya terangkan tadi, bila kita menggunakan apa-apa perpuluhan ataupun kita mau setkan nilai seperti pi, iaitu 3.142 ada perpuluhan kan. Jadi kita akan menggunakan double pi. Lepas tu kita masukkan double pi, lepas tu kita akan sistem out print. Dan di sini kita boleh nampak dia akan terus kasih keluarkan nombor tu. Jadi bila kita mau masukkan nilai-nilai perpuluhan, kita menggunakan double. Manakala kalau mau menggunakan nombor-nombor sah atau puluh atau yang tidak menggunakan decimal number, kita akan menggunakan in. Kalau boolean untuk true or false condition sahaja, dan kalau char untuk kita kasih keluarkan karakter-karakter yang khas. Contoh macam penggunaan karakter I ataupun karakter A, dia akan keluarkan tu karakter yang khas tu. Tapi dengan nasa yang sama, jangan lupakan pembuka dan penutup kata.